Hey everyone, this is Olay from Laddering Your Success, and you're listening to the LYS Podcast. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome, one and welcome all to another Sunday of LYS Free Student Mentoring. I am always, as Olay Sharanki, here with my good friend Festus from Olay. Festus, how you doing today?
Good. I'm doing well.
Awesome, man. Doing good. Good to see you here. Man, we've been rocking and rolling. Okay, sorry. We've been rocking and rolling for, 9 months now. So, I mean, we've been out there pop locking, I don't know whether
Pop lock and drop it. Or is that
pop locking, dropping it?
Well, yeah, we're about to drop these new these episodes on y'all. I'm really excited. We're moving over from obviously just doing a live to actually making it more of a podcast and also making it more of a show, and it's funny because we see the movement happening. And what do we mean by we see the movement happening? It's us, but it's not just us. I say we the originators, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But,
Are you saying that we're the original Don Dadas?
Yeah, we the original Don Dadas in terms of trying to make education cool again, and particularly education in certain communities. And what do I mean by certain communities? For me, I really just mean people who come from kind of inner city, right? If you look at it, there's people who, say, oh, well, make education cool to Black folk. I don't think it's just Black people, because education been cool to, Nigerians, we got Nigerian background and whatnot, but really making it cool and acceptable and accessible to more people is kind of our push, you know what I'm saying? And so to me, I'm excited about that. I'm excited that other people are kind of, again, in the running to do similar work. But anyway, with that being said, Olay, let me turn it over to you so you could talk about what we're talking about today and just kind of give that introduction like, only you can do.
Oh, appreciate you, man. So yeah, we're going to continue our conversation on steps you can take to plan out your financial aid scholarship process early on in your high school career. You want to get started even before that, even in your middle school career, right? But I think, one thing that we do here at LYS, we always like to talk about, like, the real issue or things that are happening behind the scenes, or things that you may not even realize are happening. And so I sent this out to Festus earlier, and that was really cool, really powerful. And so I wanted to share it with the folks out here today. It was just a thing that a Instagram reel that I saw, and I love the caption that they put under it. It says, "I know no one wants to hear this, but we should be very concerned about the state of education right now. Schools across the country are struggling to fill vacancies still in October. So what does that mean? Your child is being taught by a substitute, while veteran teachers that have a full workload already are scrambling to make those plans, cover for that position, and deal with the instability the students are currently facing. And when the vacancy is filled, it's usually by a brand new teacher that was thrown to the wolves by their alternative certification program. Unfortunately, despite the contrary belief that these programs teach, you can't learn how to teach in a crash course. It's too hard. So you have veteran teachers burnt out and new teachers hella stressed. Many of them realize how hard it is and don't stay. Some thrive, but the point is, we can do something about it. First and foremost, if you have never been in the classroom as an educator, we have to stop the negative commentary towards the profession. This isn't helpful, and the teachers that are in the trenches working hard for your child are not putting up with it anymore. During the pandemic, the public told teachers to quit if they didn't like it. Well, now we have vacancies in October, and your child is being taught by a sub because they did quit. We have the empower those sacrificing. I think you said we have to empower those sacrificing so much every day. Words matter everywhere, especially on social media. We have to respect the art of teaching. It takes years to perfect being in the classroom. Appreciating what is done with students should always be acknowledged. Go on a field trip with your kids if you don't believe me. Who you vote for matters. Prioritizing education affects whether you have kids or not. I'm sorry. Prioritizing education affects you whether you have kids or not.
Mm-hmm.
How you parent matters. If your kiddo doesn't understand boundaries at home, they won't at school either. Every time a student is disruptive, it takes away from 28 other kids, and that's not fair. Understand that teachers are not just teaching curriculum. They are teaching life skills, coping strategies, and instilling confidence. Support them in that. What did I miss? Tell me below. I just thought that was really, really cool. One of many, right, folks out there who have described the current state of education and things that educators, and that really didn't even describe what the students are going through, right? Students are going through so much as well, and what parents are going through. And it's just one of those things we have to keep in mind. And she brought up the good point too. I have definitely been guilty of bad talking
education.
Bad talking education. And it comes so easily. You know, we talk a lot about environment. If all you get is negative, if no one ever says, hey, I appreciate you, if no one ever says thank you for what you've done for me, and we already know it's a thankless job, but I mean, at some point you do get frustrated and you do get fed up. And so it is very easy. You know, I'm in a situation now where I'm trying to get my younger brother to teach. And it's so funny. I'm trying to get him to become a teacher. And I'm also sending him these things that talk about how bad the profession of teaching is, how bad that career is. But, you know, I do always try to make sure I let him know that although you see these things, there is something very special about being with a child and helping them grow, having those aha moments, taking a child that no one's ever believed in and believing in them so much that they believe you. They believe the fact that you do believe in them, and it actually propels them to greatness. It propels them to grow. So I'll definitely work on not bad mouthing education or educators. But it's also one of those things where if you don't speak up, you know, change usually doesn't happen. So maybe just changing the narrative and not speaking negatively about it, but speaking more into what we require or what we need, right?
Well, I definitely think, you know, that's a big point. You know, now there's a lot of people who've read this book. It's called The Secret. I don't ascribe to everything in the book, primarily because of where I am personally. Yeah. But in this book, they talked about, like, if you really want to make significant change, don't focus on the negative thing, focus on the positive thing that you want, right? So a lot of people right now, kind of to your point, are saying, you know, education's a horrible thing, and, you know, teaching such a bad career, instead of them focusing on how to make education and teaching better, right? And that's a big nuance. It's kind of like when you get in a relationship, and, you know, different strokes for different folks. I'm not trying to say anything about anybody's relationship, but we all know this happens. It's just reality. Get in a relationship and they're like, man, I wish they didn't do this so much, or I wish they didn't do that so much. And then you start focusing on the this and the that, rather than the fact that, why did you get with them in the first place? What were the good qualities that drew you in the first place? And oftentimes it goes to show a form of selfishness, right? And what do I mean by that is, I mean, we want the best education outcomes from teachers without giving them the resources, right? And without empowering them to get that outcome. You see what I'm saying? And it literally goes from the top down. It's like, you know, literally you hear all this stuff about what we're doing for or what should be done for teachers. A good example is pay raises for teachers. But this is the thing. In the business of education, very rarely do teachers even understand how their paycheck is formed. Like, And this is the thing I think it's interesting about almost all businesses. And I'm going to segue into financing education here in a second, because, I got to give some history and tell a little bit of story. But the thing is, if parents, it's not like parents are coming up to the school and giving money for their kid to attend that school, which is actually the norm in the majority of the world. It's really only a handful of places where quote unquote free public school is and remains. And a lot of people think, oh, well, it's because those are backwards places. And no, it's not. In India, you pay out of pocket to go to school. If you go into a doctor's office right now, okay, there's probably at least a 25 to 35% chance your doctor's an Indian. Right? So how are they producing physicians that are good enough to come over here, right, and be physicians, quality physicians, but they're not packing on the student loan debt the same way, right? And so anyway, I say all that to say, if we don't understand the business that we're in, how can we do that business well? And part of the business of education is the community getting involved. Instead of just pointing at the teachers and saying, man, those teachers are horrible. Or those teachers, because that's the thing. There's so many parents that just come complaining about their kid and what their kid got, grade they got, didn't get, you picking on my kid and all this stuff. And it's like, it's a grown person. You think that grown person really just has the time and energy to be like, ooh, 5-year-old, 8-year-old, I got him. That's going to be my arch enemy. No, Fannie Mae, okay, Freddie Mac.
That's the real enemy.
100%. 100%. It's like they got other stuff to worry about. And the thing is, even more so than that, I'm pretty sure most educators just want to live their life and enjoy their life like everybody else. So yeah, man, Olay, you want to kind of give an intro into, our call signs and all that stuff, or you got that stuff up today?
So the call signs?
Yeah.
Talking about this?
There we go.
Okay, for sure. Folks, if you want to get in contact with us on Instagram, you can follow us at LYS Students or _LYS. If you want to get in contact with us on Facebook, just type in Laddering Your Success into that search bar. You get access to our content, these mentor calls. We got about 9 months of these mentor calls up here. Super duper duper fire, super duper information, facts, statistics, help for parents, for teachers, for educators, for students. Please be sure to go in there and watch those things. On YouTube, Laddering Your Success, right? So anytime we have a video, any type of new content that we're posting, that we're putting up, we're putting it on YouTube. Just type in Laddering Your Success in that search bar. On TikTok, LYSB No Do, LYSB No Do, right? If you have an email, if you would like for us to come to your church, if you would like for us to come to your youth group, to talk to your youth group, to talk to your school, send us a message, send us an email at info@ladderingyoursuccess.com. And on Discord, we have a Discord coming soon where we will be able to interact with our students, with our educators, with our parents, with our mentors, with everyone on that platform. So that's coming out very soon. And if you love what we're doing, we've been out here for a couple of years now, and we have a lesson planning app for teachers. We have ebooks, we have scholarship guides, we have parent handbooks. We've got the LYS app again. We have so many resources and things out there to help you. If you love what we're doing, if you want to support us, on Cash App, $ Laddering Your Success, right? So I was out of town and I had a really good conversation with some friends, and one of them asked this question, and I thought this was really powerful. We don't really get a chance to sit back and think about this. And so that question was, what is the genre of your life story? So if your life up to this point was a movie, what would the genre be? Would it be a comedy? Would it be a rom-com? Would it be dramatic or a drama? Would it be a historical piece? Would it be a documentary where Morgan Freeman is just narrating bits and pieces of your life? What is the genre of your life story? Festus, if you had to choose, what would be the genre of your life story? What do you think the genre of your life story would be?
Bro, that is such a powerful question because I'm a big believer in narrative and that we live out the narrative we tell ourselves. And I think, I don't know, man, mine would have to be like, not like an action thriller, but like almost, you remember, what was it? You remember Crash, where they kept showing the different perspectives of different, mine would be like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Where it's like, it's so many twists and turns in the movie, kind of like a action comedy, tearjerker type genre. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think I might have to steal that one. If I wouldn't do that, if I couldn't do that one, I think I do something like a dramedy.
Yeah.
Something where there's drama, but there's got to be lots of laughter.
Lots of laughter. Yeah.
Lots of laughter. It's almost like, even when it's sad, it's still like someone does something random that makes you laugh. It's like, this is sad. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like in my life, it's a lot of random things that just happen.
Bro, see, this is why I think, bro, we should really start thinking like LYS the movie. It's like you know, this is where Wes comes in. Shut up, there's too many ideas. But it's like, to me, it's like, bro, like we're living a movie. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, to see how far we've come from and where we're going, like that's why I just think that's like the perfect, you know, question is like, what's the genre? You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think so. One of my favorite movies is The Book of Eli. And the reason why is because when I heard The Book of Eli, the first thing that comes to your head, if you've ever read the Bible, if you've ever gone to church for a certain amount of time, is, oh, it's like a book in the Bible. And I remember thinking sometimes when I live my life, I'm like, we're literally living our own book.
Yeah.
Right? It's the Book of Festus, it's the Book of Olay, and it kind of just goes through and it just chronicles. And then when you do that, it kind of changes your perspective or the way you approach things, because it's kind of like, you know, these are the stories you're going to tell your kids, and they're going to tell their kids, or you know, they'll use those stories to help them in their life or what have you. So it's absolutely, it's really cool that you thought about that. Oh, I guess the movie does sound like I mean, it sounds like a legit idea anyway.
I'm telling you, between you know, people going to jail, people's parents coming from other countries, just different. It's, bro, our life hit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
our life hit different, man. Absolutely. And I know there's so many people who, again, their life hits different too. So we're interested in hearing your story. So that's why we invite you guys on here for free student mentoring. But let's get into this topic for today. So go ahead, Olay.
Absolutely. So last week we started the conversation about college financing issues and changes in 2022. So Festus kind of went into a little bit of detail as far as what are the current changes happening in financial aid, student loan, debt forgiveness, public service loan programs for student loan debt forgiveness, and a lot of those different programs and things that are out there, right? But what I want to do now is I want to just discuss, for those of us in high school, for those of us that are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, right? What do you recommend, Festus, for these different stages? If there were 3 or 4 important things that every freshman needed to do, what would you recommend for that freshman?
Yeah, I'm gonna do you one better, man. I'm going to, what we'll do is we'll go over a product that we made here at Laddering Success to help, again, those people, parents and students and young adults who are planning on going back to school, help them out. And so what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a product review. So Olay, if I could switch screens with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so here we go. For those who don't know, at Laddering Your Success, we've set up a stepping up, right? So if you're on a ladder to success, you need to step up. That's why it's called a stepping up college and career checklist. So this checklist was made basically to help those out who are kind of struggling and saying, look, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I don't know where or when I'm supposed to be doing it. I'll make it a little bit bigger. That way you all can see and read along. And so in this checklist, we basically said, hey, man, what are you supposed to be doing from the time you're in middle school going up? And a lot of parents don't know. A lot of teachers don't know. A lot of students don't know. So that's why we made this checklist. And so the biggest thing, and we'll start in 6th grade, middle school, is just have regular conversations about life, college, and careers with people, with friends, with family, right? And focus on developing your being. That's your character, your values, and your principles, okay? Because the thing is, oftentimes there's so much influence pushed on us from outside. By the time we are trying to make that transition to college, we don't even know who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we're trying to go. So how can you, and this is the funny thing, right? I'm gonna just put this out there, okay? Olay, if you're going to the grocery store and you don't have a list, whether it's a mental list or a written list of items, what's gonna happen?
You're gonna miss some things that you need to get, or you're going to get too many things.
This is a no-brainer for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But because we don't come to college or higher ed with the same consumer mentality, right? Or we have that broken mentality where it's like, oh yeah, I'm just supposed to come to education. I'm gonna get what and then next, we end up spending too much money on our education. How many people do you know have gone and gotten 1, 2, 3 degrees and then having to go back to school because they don't know what they really enjoy, right? Yeah. And I'm not trying to knock anybody. Go listen to last week's episode where I talked about that. People need to understand this about America, okay? America foundationally, regardless of if you agree or disagree, foundationally, slavery had a big portion to do with America. And the thing is, they just moved it and said, it's not about blacks being slave anymore. It's about anybody who is going to make certain choices is going to fall into a certain class. And what do I mean by that? I mean that those who do not understand the system of America, they're going to fall into some form of slavery, whether it's credit card debt, whether it's student loan debt, whether it's being upside down on your house, whether it's being upside down on your car. And people, they scratch their heads and say, Festus, those are really harsh words. Well, let me say, they're probably hearing this and saying those are harsh words. But why do you think so many Americans are paycheck to paycheck? It's because this is how the system is built. Just be honest with yourself. That way we can do something with it, okay? So next. So that's what you're going to do in the fall of your 6th grade year. In the spring, you're going to have regular conversations about how academic and extracurricular choices affect their life, college, and career. And you're going to sign up for out-of-school programs that meet their interests. So what do I mean by that? We did a fire mentor call with a young lady. I'm forgetting her name. I know her mom's name, Brenda. Shout out to Brenda. Fire call with her because this young lady wanted to be a pilot. So I got one of our friends who's a pilot to sit down and talk with her about what it takes to become a pilot. And one of the questions he asked was, what do you do outside of school? Or when you're, what are your extracurricular activities? And she was, hanging with my friends, band, this, that, and the third. And so he said, yeah, you need to forget about all of that. If you're not flying and you're not flying regularly and consistently, it's not going to happen. Because now the way it's set up, they are requiring higher levels of education. But at the same time, you need to get the practice in of flying. And you can't just beam me up, Scotty. You got to book a plane. You got to go to the hangar. You got to do all of this. So he broke all of that stuff down to her. And that's the thing. A lot of us have hopes and dreams and aspirations, but what are the steps that we need to get there? That's why we need to find mentors that are in the lane that we're trying to get into and spend time with those mentors asking them these crucial questions. So summer, sign up for volunteer anywhere, as well as programs that meet their interests. So you just need to get a lot of experience under your belt. When you're in middle school, when you're in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, even in your freshman year of high school, just get experience. Go do stuff, right? Go to your dad's job, your mom's job, your uncle's job. Go collect some cans. Go do something. Why? Because the thing is, this whole time that you're getting these experiences, you're building up what you like and what you dislike, what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And too often, a lot of us are forced into doing something and we think we have to do that thing forever. If you come from a financial situation like myself, some of the people I know, it's like, man, I got to get out here and hustle. And then you think, oh man, I got to stay like this. And that's not the reality, right? And that is so detrimental to us, especially as young Black men. You know what I'm saying? Like they talk about, oh man, there's not really jobs in the neighborhood, but then, you got the dope boys in the neighborhood and certain things like that. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people, just like in a classroom, right? In a classroom, like we said, there's 25 different students. There's probably 5 of them that show they behind all day. They act crazy. And those 5 get like all the attention. And then you get like the 5 who are low level students and they get the rest of the teachers' attention because they're so low level, they need the extra help. And then everybody in the middle kind of gets left behind to figure it out themselves. And that's what happens in the real world too. The dope boys get attention from the cops, from the girls, they go into the parties, this, that, and the third, right? And then everybody else who's out here trying to make it and be regular, it's like, how do I get where I'm trying to go? And so like, shout out to Jason's Deli. Jason's Deli was me and Olay. Olay remembers the JD.
Shout out JD. JD with the food codes.
But here's some quick game, right? I didn't know that delivery drivers could make $400 a day, $500 a day delivering sandwiches. And once I start seeing these cats making $400 or $500 a day,
sandwiches.
I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm like, houseway. Well, they're delivering to corporate entities. So just a little game for somebody. Maybe your way in the door. I remember when I went to go do this delivery at BP, right? I came with the bags, and then the dude's like, oh man, we got a long way to go. I was just coming out here to get you, but we got to take it up to the office. I'm like, oh, golly. So we go into the office. And then next, I got to set up the sound. I'm looking around. Wow, I'm in BP, the headquarters, or whatever.
Nice.
And then, and it was a brother up there too. So I'm like, oh, okay, And if I was interested in engineering, I could have simply said, hey, what do you do? Hey, what's this company do? Right? So that's the thing. You can't ever really just think, oh man, I got one way in, and that's college. Right? And go talk to the mentor. Go, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your way in is around the back. You know what I'm saying? But at least you in there. You know what I'm saying? And eventually you start going through the front. You know what I'm saying? That's illustration. Okay, so 7th grade, I'm a breeze through. Tell you what, I'm gonna skip over to high school because that's specifically what.
No, those are some beautiful points there, though, Festus.
Oh, but bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Everything we make at LYS is gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. This is top-notch stuff for parents. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I was just gonna say, man, I remember. Oh, for sure. I mean, the stuff we make is wonderful quality. I think we take pride in that. But I was just saying, I think the favorite thing I remember from Jason's Deli was that fruit cup dip.
What wasn't that? I think it was like
like a liqueur.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, they did put liqueur in there. I think they put
liqueur in it. Yeah.
What was that? Grand Marnier, is that right? They put
Grand Marnier. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So they put Grand Marnier, and then they put. Man. I think it was sour cream, and it was something else. It was like 2 or 3 other things to make that. Yeah, it was really amazing. Good. Yeah, it was amazing. You could drink it. You could just drink this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so freshman year, the biggest thing is just try to adjust to high school in the fall, right? In the spring, adjust to high school, but take courses that improve study skills and habits. Like, this is the thing a lot of people don't realize. A lot of educational success comes from two things: figuring out how you learn best, and then figuring out how your teacher teaches. Because if you know how you learn and you understand how they teach, you could then work the system to come up with the best strategy for you to master that class. And so now there's all this thing. That's the thing I never got. You know, everybody would get up there. What is that? What's that thing where you could go check out your teacher in college? You remember that?
Rate My Professor?
Yeah, Rate My Professor. Everybody ratemyprofessor.com. Oh man, I don't want to take such and such. I don't want to take such and such. Because they hard. And this is the thing a lot of people don't understand. When you're choosing easy teachers or teachers that don't know what you're doing, you are actually dumbing yourself down. Because any person who's great has been challenged. And they challenge others.
Hey, LYS fam, it's Olay once again. You know, these days, many families are busy, but want personalized attention. We at Laddering Your Success understand this dilemma and have created a unique approach to help guide you and your child with personal development tools to build a life of purpose. This intimate approach is helpful for those parents that feel the need to have a focused heart-to-heart conversation deciding on the next steps after high school. We provide individual post-secondary planning, virtual customized college and career counseling, and scholarship guidance and planning. Our one-on-one sessions are tailored to each individual student to maximize their potential in the post-secondary realm. With our guidance, your child will be able to make their dreams a reality. Don't wait. Simply go to lys.com/parents to get your copy today. Now let's get back to business on this podcast.
So if you go and watch Kobe's documentary, what's this dude's name, documentary, Michael Jordan, right? Yeah. The thing is, the bar was so high to play with them that think about this. You got to think about this. They're playing basketball, and the bar was so high that they got to choose who else came on the team. Think about this. They're not the billion-dollar owner. There's a person who's a billionaire who owns the team and says, who do you want to play with? Because you're so good. Because they've challenged themselves to that point, right, of being that good. And that's what a good teacher does. A good teacher doesn't leave you at your raw potential. A good teacher helps develop your potential. And so stop just taking the easy teachers. Figure out your study habits and study skills that can help get you better. So now, in the summer, this is where you want to start putting in work your freshman year of high school. Okay, you want to take the PSAT, the ACT pre-test, test prep courses. You want to find a mentor. Okay, find a mentor program. That's key. That's critical. Okay, you want to find summer programs based off of career interests and then start working on your time management. Why is that important? Because this is the thing. You need to start developing for where you're going. You know, we have this, one of these, again, timeless quotes in LYS, is not where you're from, it's where you're at, right? And the thing is, even though you're in high school, right? When you get to college, it's not about what high school you went to. It's about what you're doing there, right? And so the thing is, you got to really put in the time management to say, help me manage my time wisely. And one of the biggest people I've ever known to do it, Olay knows him too, is Julian Gordon, right? So Julian Gordon, this dude got 2 degrees, I think, in like a 3-year time span. And I'm like, wait, how did he do it? Because all he did was they gave him the syllabus at the beginning of the semester, and he managed his time to where he would get all the work done, so then he could use the resources of the college for other things. Now, he happened to go to Stanford. Anybody who knows anything about schools, I would definitely say try to get them Stanford. If there was any school that you'd be like, man, I'm thinking about going, I would go to Stanford over Harvard any day. Any day.
Really?
100%. 100, bro. Harvard, Yale are trash compared to Stanford right now.
What?
If you could get in the Stanford School of Business right now.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow.
100, bro, bro, Uber, Airbnb, what's this, DoorDash, literally all of this SaaS stuff, everything that SaaS delivered, that all came from Stanford.
Wow.
Bro, because
is this the Y Combinator?
The Y Combinator
okay.
was housed at Stanford, and that's why so many colleges are trying to follow that platform now. Right? Because what they did, see, let me get into the game. Okay, this is the game.
Talk to us. Preach. Talk to us.
Here's the game. When you go to a university, right? The reason you go to that university is not for a degree. As much as people like to say it's for a degree, it's not. It's to join a club. It's to join a family. And each college, each university is its own little nucleus family. And so once you get into that family, you learn certain things, but then guess what? As the family goes up, now the alumni are helping each other out. The professors are helping each other out. What do you mean, Festus? I don't get it. Because the professor has to do research. So they get a student. They say, you're going to be my teaching assistant. You're going to help me do this research. But guess what? What that research comes with to that professor? The bag. That's how the professors really get coins. Because what ends up happening is these grants, and I know I'm giving out a lot of sauce, right? But this is how you finance your education. Okay? Because everybody keeps talking about scholarships and grants. You could just go be a teaching assistant, which generally comes with either a stipend, okay, or a scholarship or a grant. Why? Because when a company or entity needs to know something and they need to do research, a business is in the business of making money. They can't do the research themselves. So they go to a college or a university and say, look, we got X amount $1 million. We need this research done. And the professor cannot be the primary researcher. They're the primary one making sure everything gets done. But the thing is, they're the ones who's dotting the I, crossing the T's, but they're not going to be the one doing the experiment. Guess who does the experiments? Teaching assistants. And so now when they come to present that research to whatever organization, whether it's a government organization or educational institution or well, not an educational institution, whatever institution, a business, guess whose name goes on that research? This is why they talk about professors who spend more time writing and spend more time doing research than they spend with students. And that's why if you go into any one of these major colleges, you're being taught by a teaching assistant, not the professor. You probably met them 1 or 2 days. And see, this is the thing that people don't know. You got to peep game, okay? This is the thing we're trying to tell y'all. All of it is different kinds of games. You just got to need to know the game you're in. You got to know the rules that they're playing by. And so if you're not figuring out what you want to do and working on your time management and different kind of things like that, and you're not developing your interests, for those who are watching, right? If you're not developing your interests, next thing you know, you go into a school and you end up trying to live American Pie. You see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to live, what is it? What was that movie? The social, whatever.
The Social Network?
Social Network, right? Because, and this is the thing. Go and look at where these businesses came from. Facebook came from Harvard, right? Okay. It came from the students in Harvard building a network. Everybody should know this story by now, right? They're building a network. As they built out that network, okay, they got their homies in. You know, once Facebook found the funding, because the thing is, everybody got to go to the business idea. They're trying to go to the business idea. Once they found the funding, even the people who kind of had something to do with the beginning of Facebook got coins, right? And so this is the thing. We're trying to teach y'all not just, hey, go to college just to go to college, right? We're saying go find your purpose, right? We're saying go find meaning. We're saying not only as you find purpose and find meaning, figure out how you could get the bag while chasing purpose and meaning. The degree is just is nice, okay? But see, the thing is, a lot of people have been brainwashed thinking that, oh, you just go to colleges so you can get a degree. And the thing is, this is the funny thing, okay? I'm gonna give it to you straight. You're going to college to get a degree while that person who's hanging out with the teaching assistant or hanging out with the professor doing that little grant program ends up getting hired and becomes upper level management or an executive in the company that you went and got a degree to apply at. I want you to listen to what I just said, okay? Mm-hmm. You went to school to get a degree, and you're getting that degree, but the person who's the teaching assistant ends up becoming an executive at a company that you went to go apply at. But because you didn't have a relationship with them on the campus, they said, oh, that's nice. You went to my alma mater. Here's a job. Instead of you figuring out how you could create your own thing, or you coming in and getting in with something early that everybody else can get a slice of. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what we need to know. Anyway, let me continue. Okay, so volunteer in places that your child is interested in potentially working in a career field. Volunteer with family and friends in a family business. Sign up for programs that meet their interests, and take a trip or visit higher learning campuses, whether it's a college, trade school, or vocational program. That's what you're doing in the 9th grade. Now, 10th grade, look at trades or skills that your child may be interested in. Review career options in the Occupational Outlook Handbook at bls.gov, okay? Spring, take the PSAT or the ACT. Now, why do I say that? You want to take it early in case you need to adjust your score. However, why is it more important to look at trades or skills that you might be interested in? Because this is the thing that people don't tell you, okay? You can take about 3.5 years, 4 years to be a plumber and end up making about $250 an hour as a plumber, right? If you are a skilled plumber and you know what you're doing, and someone says, oh, my faucet's out, and you go to replace that faucet, you can say, yeah, it's charged $250. Or in my case, I'm telling you a real life example. I had a leak in my house, didn't know where it was coming from. The guy came in and he was probably drunk, liquor on his breath. Came in, was talking to me for about 30 minutes, talking about life, all different kind of stuff. Then he was like, how can I get to your attic? Like, so we're having a conversation. I'm like, yo, where's this water coming from? Like, yo, find the water, find the pipe, bro, find the pipe. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you're talking about. And then he's like, where's your attic? I'm like, here, let me, it's in the closet, pull down the thing. He goes up there, he gets his little drill. There's a pipe that, I didn't know this, based off of the weather, temperature, whatever, algae could grow in the pipe. He drains the pipe out, right? Comes down from the attic. He spent all of maybe 8 minutes doing that. And he charged me $350. And the thing is, the sad part of it is, it goes to this story. There's a major factory. The factory is shut down. They go hire a guy to come in. They bring all the experts. All the experts are coming in. All the experts are coming in. So they bring in about 20 different experts. Nobody could fix it. So then they hire this one guy. He comes in with a screwdriver. He turns one screw. And then next, everything works. And he says, okay, this is, going to be $50,000 or whatever. It's an astronomical amount. They said, what? All you did was turn one screw. And he said, well, I knew which screw to turn. And that's the thing. The people pay you for what you know and what you could do with what's in between your ears. And so what you're trying to do is just develop that knowledge base so that you could go and employ it. Olay, looked like you was going to say something. I don't want you to cut you off.
No, just fire. It's fire. No, sir. Just fire.
Okay, just next.
Boy said I knew which screw to turn.
Exactly. You just got to know which screw to turn. That's it. So next, summer, you want to do credit by exam. Why credit by exam? In your 10th grade year, you probably know enough, right? If you're really at it, to attempt a credit by exam. Why credit by exam? Because credit by exam is about $90, right? And can save you thousands of dollars because you're no longer sitting in the classroom. A lot of people are struggling, oh, I need to get this grant or this scholarship. And the reality is, if you're good at history, for example, go take a history credit by exam. This $90 is going to save you a lot of time and money, right? Volunteer based off of career interests. So figure out, how can I get in somebody's CPA office? If all you got to do is go move boxes for them, arrange files for them, see how you could go do that, right? Get a summer job or internship, okay? Again, find a mentor or find some programs based off of career interests. And some of this stuff repeats, so I'm not going to go too deep into that for your 10th grade year. Now, your junior year, you want to, in the fall, enroll in early college or dual credit programs. Do not keep taking these AP courses. Why? Because a lot of people take AP courses that are more stringent, and they are good for helping you get more work done, but it's not taking anything off of your bill, your higher education bill. So one thing I'm looking forward to, which is probably going to start happening soon, is where you're going to be able to get dual credit in things like welding and different kind of stuff like that, right? We're already starting to see a pop-up of different programs that are offering trades to students, but oftentimes they don't come with the credits. They come with certificates at the end of graduation, right? Which certificates can and can't be good. Well, I'll explain why. There's a difference between a certificate and a certification. The certificate is that little piece of paper, right? That's a certificate. But the certification says that, hey, you have met these different standards and you're certified to do the work, right? So that means an agency gave their stamp of approval versus a certificate. I could print a certificate right now, and I'm gonna give another bar, and this is for the adults. I'm gonna give another bar. A lot of people as adults are going to get these certificates from leadership programs and all this other stuff. That is literally something somebody just made up. Okay, if it's not attached to a university or some kind of institution, they just made it up and they just printed out the certificate and they say, oh, get this one because the gold leaf on it is better or whatever, to make you feel like you really did something. And they're charging you thousands of dollars for their quote unquote master classes.
That's the one Daniel Hill has. Daniel Hill has that one.
Man, I got on the right time, man. I was over. What's up, guys? Y'all good?
Hey, what's
Afternoon,
up,
what's going on, D Hill?
Man, I was looking on BLS site the other day for inflation reports and all that. And like I was also telling this cat right here, man, he's in school. I'm about to show you a minute after he gets done with this section. But hey,
what's up,
hey
man?
Sam.
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, he actually like first year, second year in college, and like saying I was telling him about y'all can help him get scholarship and how to save money in your program and stuff, all the stuff you do, man.
Yeah, man. I'm interested, man. Let's see what's up with y'all, man. I wanna move how y'all moving.
Well, definitely, man.
He's actually, yeah, man. He's actually, yeah, man. I ain't trying your pops to get man. But now he's over helping his pops. What's your name again, my bad?
Isaac, bro.
Isaac.
What's that name?
Yeah, Festus and Olay.
Nice to meet y'all, man. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. What's your email, bro, so I can put in the chat? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I just walk. Should I help?
Y'all know we be live at 5 over here.
Yeah, sure, man. Live and direct.
Man, this is live though, man. Y'all saw this stuff, man. Man, I was just on there showing about the CPI reports and stuff, man. And that website got a lot, bro.
Oh, yeah, drop that knowledge, boy.
Oh, okay, okay.
MSNBC talking about shit CPI, consumer price.
I got that on my actual crypto site now, man.
I see
hey, I still need to get on that course, bro. I've been thinking about that more and more lately. Like,
I need to tell me about it.
I need to get on this thing, man.
Hey, man, don't worry, man. The market gonna follow, and once it follow, then we'll all jump in and make money and retire.
Yeah, shoot, you need to get in before fall. You know what I'm saying? I at least need to get back on my trading platforms. That's the thing. I got a couple trading platforms. You know,
you got to get back on that Meta.
Oh yeah, the MetaTrader 4 and all that stuff.
MetaTrader 4.
MetaTrader 5. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. My bad. We type in the chat, guys. I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to get it. Yeah, we trying to make sure he get connected with y'all.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got you. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna send him a message when we're done here.
Okay, cool. Okay. Not the same, okay? Wait, he said Cash App, right?
I mean, sorry, Zelle, don't Cash App.
Okay.
Bro, I'm gonna have to mute you real quick so we can.
Sorry, bro.
I'm gonna be okay. So that's D Hill, everybody. We know we love D Hill, and he's always out here rooting for us,
grinding for us, man.
Also grinding for y'all, helping people get on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me do this before I mentoring. Okay, before I forget, because I be a forgetful cat sometimes.
No, for sure.
So where were we at? Are you seeing my screen still?
Okay, we're talking about the forms, right? Why it's important to get to not do the AP courses, but to get your credit. You get your credit hour.
Yes. So you don't want to do the AP courses because the AP courses are more academic. Now, if you're talking about, I want to be a Rhodes Scholar. I want to be what's the other one? I forgot the other one. But there are different particular scholar programs. And I'll go into that for a little bit just because our community don't really know what it is as much. Why am I about to Google on Bing? Okay. So basically, Rhodes Scholars, all these different scholar programs that are scholarship programs, and we're just going to do the wiki. I know that's not good for teachers or whatever, but we'll do the wiki. It's a scholarship for international postgrad award students to study at Oxford. So basically, what ends up happening is they have so many scholars who they say, man, these guys are really smart. These guys are really bright. We're going to give you a scholarship so that you could come over here and study over here. Now, this is what a lot of people, and just being transparent and honest about what ends up happening. Oftentimes, these people go work at government agencies, CIA, FBI, different types of stuff like that. This is where they actually get picked up from. So if that's the direction you want to go and you're like, yo, I want a big cushy government job, I want to work at some agency, definitely go that Rhodes Scholar route. But if not, if you're like, yo, man, I just want to have a good time and get with my friends and family, then dual credit. And this is the thing a lot of people don't, again, we just don't know about. You get in these particular programs and organizations to set yourself apart for the future. What do I mean by that? Like, for example, I am what's called the Alpha Chi member. Now, what's Alpha Chi? Alpha Chi is a program that only goes to the top 10% of an institution. So when I was at Houston Baptist University, I was in the top 10% based off my grades. And this is the thing. If I wasn't running around doing the running around I was doing, I probably could have done a lot better. But the thing is, okay, how am I going to leverage this to get to my next level of where I want to go? That's really the question you always got to ask yourself. So join these programs, join these networks, because then I could always like, yo, let me pull up one of these things in one of these cities. Yo, I'm going to be out there and have a network. But oftentimes I find that these people are not interested in where the people that I come from helping out the community and stuff. That's a whole nother thing. Fall, again, college readiness, career readiness workshops, boot camps, programs. Parents, file your taxes, then file for FAFSA. So this is what I recommend. As soon as you file your taxes, go ahead and file for the following year's FAFSA. Even though FAFSA opens up in the fall, right? So FAFSA typically opens up late September, early October, right?
So around now.
Yeah, so around now. Yeah, around now. As soon as you get your taxes, you could start putting your information in and just save it. Because what ends up happening a lot of times to us is we don't hold that information. And so tax time comes around and like, man, I don't even know. I don't know where my taxes are. I don't know where this is. I don't know where that is. And your kid's trying to get FAFSA money, and FAFSA comes with almost an automatic Pell Grant. People not filling out the FAFSA is the #1 reason why they miss out on scholarships. So just fill out the FAFSA. Like, there's a lot of people right now who are mad because of this whole Pell Grant Biden thing, where he said, well, if you got a Pell Grant, then you're automatically qualified for $10,000, $20,000. Why? Because Pell Grant is usually a low-income grant, right? And so I know I got Pell Grant. You see what I'm saying? And anyway, I'm not going into all that. So next, look for scholarships and grants. Again, We have great resources. We have a scholarship guidebook at LYS. Go ahead and order your scholarship guidebook, okay? Next, take the ACT, SAT. Take a college tour. Start getting your applications together, okay? View jobs and other careers that you're interested on BLS. Like, again, Daniel just came on and he was like, yo, he looked at that BLS. There's actually a ton of information on there. Even outside of the Occupational Outlook Handbook, there's a ton of information on other stuff that our government is doing, that they're watching, that we should be privy to, that we should know. But that's a whole nother thing.
I think that's a major key right there, right?
Yes.
The fact that it's very easy to get a myopic view of your place in society as a consumer, as a taxpayer, as a person who's going to be entering the workforce, all those things. If this is a government-run agency, that means that they're mandated to present this information to us as citizens so we can use it for our own benefit. It's not just being put out there just to be put out there, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to have people who work in corporate settings who have to go to these websites every day to get a particular number. Daniel mentioned the CPI and things like that. I remember when I was working in accounting, I had to look at different exchange rates. So I can only imagine, like you said, the powerful information that's in there that we have access to. And so, not just for students and parents, but just for your general knowledge of what's going out there, I think that's really important.
100%. So next, during the summer, I'm going to skip over some of these, but because we already talked about taking the SAT, ACT, the biggest thing, find a summer job based on your interests. Okay. Take a college tour and then start applying for colleges. Take courses at community colleges if you can. Why do I say that? There's research that shows the average student's grade drops by 1 letter grade as they transition from high school to college. And so if you can get in as a junior, right? Or if you could get in as a senior during your summer and you say, let me take one course and see what this is like. Now, oftentimes they're going to have you do some tests, ACT, SAT. What is it? The other one in Texas. I forgot what the other one in Texas is. But sometimes they'll have their own. They might put you in a remedial course. Go ahead and knock out that remedial course. A lot of people feel some type of way because of remedial course. I had to do the remedial course. I think I had 2 remedial maths, which the first remedial math, I was like, I knocked that thing out. The second one was like, ugh, right?
The second one was rough. I remember that one too.
Yeah. Boy, and then I breezed through math until I got to like calculus or something like that. And then I was like, yo, what is this dude talking about? And I had the weirdest, funniest teacher. I don't know if he knew he was weird or funny, but he was just, his personality always smelled like cigarettes. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
So where are we at? Volunteer in places your child is interested in potentially working. We're going to skip over these because a lot of them are similar to the other ones. Okay, 12th grade year. Apply through common applications. So there are different types of common applications. This is what you want to do in the fall. Don't just keep going school to school to school to school to school to school and applying. Just go apply at a common application. So Texas has their own common application. Just get that done. Knock it out, right? Why? Because once you knock out that common application, it's going to let you know all the schools that are pretty much regulated by the state you can get access to, okay? Then enroll in college readiness classes, workshops, and boot camps. Take a study skills course, begin applying for scholarships. Spring, file your taxes, file for your FAFSA. Begin applying for scholarships and fill out college applications. And so a lot of these are similar, so we're gonna go through them.
Hey LYS fam, it's Olay. Thanks so much for listening to LYS. I just wanted to take a quick moment to talk to the parents. That's right, mom and dad, parents. Prepare your child for their best educational fit after high school with our comprehensive LYS Parents Guidebook. Our helpful guide includes a range of activities designed to help you better understand your child's unique gifts and abilities. Additionally, we provide valuable insights into the student loan debt crisis and offer practical tips on how to avoid accumulating large amounts of debt. Our ebook also includes a wealth of information on scholarships, grants, and payment exemptions that can help guide your child towards a bright and successful future. With our expert guidance, you can rest assured that your child is well prepared to make informed decisions about their education and career path. Don't let your child's future be in jeopardy. Invest in their future today by downloading the LYS Parents Guidebook. Simply go to lys.com/parents to get your copy today. Now let's get back to the show because you know it's some good topics.
Summer, this is the big thing. Work on study skills, but prepare to move if you're living on campus. Now, I had a young lady who, back when I did youth ministry, this was funny. I'm not going to say her name because I want her to be like, oh, man. So we did a summer trip to Florida for 1 week. And so it was a dope trip. We went to campus. I mean, shout out to Pensacola Christian College. It's a dope college campus. They had a rock wall, skating ring, bowling alley. They had all kind of stuff on the campus. Yeah, it was a super dope campus. But they had an indoor water park, which was super fly. This was before these things got like as popular as they are now. And it was so funny because there was this one dude, he was on like a boogie board. And, you know, he's a tough football player, dude. You know what I'm saying? He on that boogie board, bro. He fell off that boogie board. When I say that water picked him up and threw him, bro, he hit the wall. He hit the wall. He got him. He had a concussion.
Oh, no.
It was so funny. It was like all that hard talk was like, what happened to all that hard talk? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you definitely want to get ready to move on campus. And so this is the big thing. A lot of people, they want to go to schools with the big name because they got a football team, they got a this, they got a that. You got to look at where you're going. Now, it's one thing if you're going for the network. Like I said, certain schools like Stanford, all day, go. If you actually do the research, if you look at the most millionaires produced, I believe in the last 10 years, Stanford. If you look at the by population billionaire, I think by population billionaires or something like that, Stanford, right? So if you look at top school with the top Fortune 500 companies coming out of Stanford. So you gotta check it out. So start working a part-time job too, right? Get yourself used to being and staying busy. If you go to campus and you're not being or staying busy, you're gonna have a hard time. You are. Because you're going to be paying somebody's $20,000 a year tuition, $30,000 a year tuition, and you're going to be playing video games. And trust me when I say this, we talked about it. If you don't know the rules of the game, it's going to eat you up. And America's game is debt. Debt is the new slavery. Okay, it's indiscriminate. That's the beauty of the slavery they got now. It's indiscriminate slavery.
Sees no color.
It doesn't matter your skin color. Just play around with some debt. Play around with some Visa. Play around with some MasterCard. That's why they call it a MasterCard.
Hey, let us discover together.
Exactly.
How much debt you can accumulate.
Exactly. Play around and get mastered by MasterCard. Okay? And so these people ain't playing. So why are you? Why are you playing with your future? Come on now.
Absolutely.
Okay, perform credit by exam. Again, this is a big one. Knock out the credit by exam so that way you could save money. Okay. I know so many people are gonna be like, oh, these guys, they're so brash and so rude. I cannot listen to them. All right. That's my Karen voice.
Speak for yourself. I'm a sweetheart.
And there's a bunch of different Karens. They ain't all of Caucasian descent, okay?
You got to fit the stereotype that we have in our mind.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, do those credit by exams, okay? Reconnect with friends. What do I mean by that? It's your summer. Reconnect with friends, especially the people you see in your future, okay? Now, I don't want to get too far off track with this, but the reality is, I'm going to talk about this because it is a conflict management issue, right? What type of friends do you want to keep around you? People who are good influences, people who help you get stuff done, people who help you move the needle in your life. But at the same time, if you're just looking for those types of people, right, you're a leech. You are a leech. You're selfish. I'm gonna tell you straight to your face, you're selfish. Now, you should have, if you look at LYS, 3 people, one in front of you, one next to you, and one beside you, right? And talk about this ladder structure. The person who's on the ladder ahead of you has already made the climb. You're trying to learn from them. The person who's climbing a ladder next to you, you could check on them. Hey, you good? Oh, hey, what about this? And get and share information with. And the person at the bottom of the ladder, you're showing them to bring them up. They're not going to be able to help you out and do all this wonderful stuff and stuff like that. But it helps keep you balanced, because if you know, man, Ray Ray looking at me, I got to make it for Ray Ray. Then guess what? That's going to help you to stay on cue, on path, right? But if, Bullshikwa with the big booty on campus got your attention and you're not even thinking about Ray Ray, next thing you know, it's like, man, I was just hanging out with her. Didn't go to classes, was just hanging out. I was in the library, not doing anything. I was just in there because she was in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. You never know what other people's situations is like. It's so many people I know who they left college with everything except good opportunities for their future. It's sad, but it's just the reality, right? And so a lot of that depends on from the inside. So again, reconnect with friends, but connect with those people who you provide healthy influence with, but also vice versa. Okay. With that being said, I think we could close this one out. If you want to get this guide, again, go to www.ladderinyoursuccess.com/parents. This is the Stepping Up Career and College Checklist. We also have different strategies in here. If you just want to get a certification, we talked about that earlier. Or you want to get an associate's degree, we talked about these different strategies that you can employ. And we try to break them down in the most step-by-step way possible, right? And even though we kind of knock AP, we still talk about AP in this guidebook. Strategy 4, early college, then strategy 5, which is traditional. Okay, strategy 6, which is no college. We even developed a no college strategy for those who are like, man, I don't even think I want to go to college. Well, we got a strategy for you too. Okay, yeah. So that's our book, and that's kind of it for today from my end. Olay.
No, man, Festus, thank you so much. I think this was fire because we got a chance to actually sit down and break it down step by step, things that the students can do from their freshman year to their senior year. And for those of you that are watching this and you feel like you're behind, do not worry. One step at a time, you're going to be just fine. The fact that you're looking at it shows that you are not behind, right? Because for every one of you that are seeing it for the first time, there's many others who have not even thought about this. And also remember what we always say, there are legitimate reasons to not getting an education. There are legitimate reasons to not going into college. Sorry.
Yes. Bro, there's no legitimate reason. Go say it over, please.
I've been traveling. I've been international. Olay. There are legitimate reasons to not going to college. There are no legitimate reasons to not getting an education. When we say that, don't just think of college as the end all be all. Festus mentioned it several times. There are trades, there are skills, there are career paths that you can take that don't require 4 years, 6 years, 8 years of college that still fulfill your purpose, that still help you find your purpose, that still help you work within your passion. So you got to keep that in mind. That's why one of the first things you saw, even from the 6th grade, was having those discussions, finding mentors about things that you love to do, right? So with that being said, Festus, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Okay, I am Olay Sharonki. Thank you so much for joining us for another wonderful Sunday session of LYS Free Student Mentoring. Be sure to stay in contact with us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. We have a Discord coming soon. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next week. Salute. Oh, you're still there? Well, thank you so much for listening to the LYS Podcast.